Hey guys, I'm here at Ulta in Target and they have the Ordinary. It's been a while since I've been in Ulta. Looks like they added a salicylic acid mask. Now, salicylic acid is wonderful for acne. It's anti-inflammatory and it also helps to exfoliate the pore. Not only is it helpful for acne, but it's good for hyperpigmentation. Some people don't tolerate it particularly well though because they find it's drying or irritating. But the nice thing about doing a mask like this is you're basically doing a short contact therapy approach, which can be beneficial, where you leave it on the skin for, in this case, 10 minutes, and then rinse it off. How long do they tell you? Yeah, 10 minutes. Doing it that way helps you tolerate the ingredient better, but you could still derive benefit from the ingredient. But you could also do something similar with any leave-on salicylic acid product. You could just leave it on for 10 minutes and then rinse it off. Yeah, the really nice thing about doing short contact therapy is that it puts a lot of control in your hands and that you can control the duration of time that you do it. Like you can start out just for a few minutes and then rinse off, build up to 10 minutes, and then eventually if it's a product that is meant to be left on overnight, then you can try using it overnight, one night a week, and gradually increase to every other night, then nightly as tolerated. So it really gives you a lot more control doing it that way. I have a video all about how to do short contact therapy with benzoyl peroxide, like a full-on skincare routine. So check that video out. I actually have this product. They gifted it to me, the peptide serum. But here's the thing. Okay, so this is a serum that basically is just to help make the hair appear thicker, denser, fuller, and healthier. That's not too outrageous of a claim. Ingredients that are helpful for the scalp too: lactic acid, gluconolactone, and tea leaf extract is an antioxidant. So those ingredients can help with overall scalp health and maybe help minimize scalp buildup. The peptides in this I'm not that familiar with. Maybe they have some research behind them that makes them compelling for the hair, but they do help with moisture retention. Caffeine in theory might be beneficial for hair growth, but more research is needed. I really like their azelaic acid suspension as a way to use azelaic acid over the counter if you've got rosacea, perioral dermatitis, or acne. It's also good for hyperpigmentation and melasma. Some people don't like the consistency of this. I have to give a shout out, not sponsored, to the Paula's Choice Azelaic Acid Booster. I've tried so many over-the-counter azelaic acids, just kind of feel them out. And that one has to be the top performing one, just in my personal experience using it, in my opinion. It also has salicylic acid in it though, so that may be doing a lot of the work. And it has licorice root, which is anti-inflammatory. But this is just the azelaic acid, and it's a good option for hyperpigmentation. Like if you have acne that heals with redness and or hyperpigmentation, this might be a good choice for you to experiment with. How much I enjoy squalane and moisturizers. It really gives the skin a nice radiant glow. But personally, I don't use oils by themselves really much at all in my skincare routine. While they can soften and smooth the skin surface, they don't really lock in hydration. But a lot of people like to use oils in their routine. This is a great option in that case. And it's also a good option if you're dealing with a lot of dryness and peeling. A lot of people want to pick at peeling skin thinking that that's going to help resolve the issue, when in reality it just makes it worse. I suggest using a lightweight facial oil, just massaging a tiny little drop to the skin to help with those flakes. It can help smooth the skin surface. And when your skin's really dry and flaky, you'll notice it's like hard to put moisturizer on over those flakes. It just kind of gets cakey and flaky. Prepping the skin a bit with just the tiniest drop. You don't need a lot. To do this can help. Ooh. Looks like there's a loose connection in there, and it can help. Now, rose hip oil is another one that people like. It has a lot of antioxidants in it, depending, of course, on where the rose hips are coming from, the time of the year they're harvested, all sorts of things. People like to claim that it's like a natural retinol, but that is such a stretch because if it has retinol in it, it's going to be like 0.0000003%. Like you're really not getting anything there. I'm a huge fan of their Buffet plus copper peptides. This is really good for hydrating the skin. You don't need very much of this, just a few drops layered under moisturizer. It can really help with smoothing out fine lines. This is one of my favorites from The Ordinary, their caffeine solution plus EGCG. EGCG, or epigallocatechin gallate, comes from green tea, and it can help minimize the burden of damage that occurs upon exposure to environmental stressors, namely UV. In addition to that, the caffeine is also an antioxidant, which will help with oxidative stress that leads to premature skin aging. Now, people like to use this around the eyes because topically caffeine, like under the eyes, can help temporarily improve the appearance of dark under eye circles depending on the cause, especially as it relates to puffiness, because caffeine can constrict the blood vessels and help with moving that fluid out from under the eyes. Dry bar here. I, as a side note, have this hairbrush and I love it. I just use it as my daily hairbrush. I really like it. I got mine on the Amazonian. But over brushing your hair actually can lead to more hair damage. Like that old adage that you're supposed to do 100 strokes a day. Yeah, that's not good for your hair. Of course, brushing helps to remove the shedding hairs that are on their way out and improve shine. But you definitely can do too much there. Hair care is so individualized. It's even more individualized than skincare in my opinion. But I feel like people get more anxious and nervous about trying out new skincare than they do about hair care. You can always put your hair up like in a bun or under a hat, I guess, or in a cap. But you can't really, nobody wants to deal with like breakouts from a skincare product gone awry or contact dermatitis. Speaking of hair care, I highly recommend this product, the BB Hairdresser's Invisible Oil by Bumble and Bumble. It's a heat and UV protective primer. This has, the UV protection in this for your hair strands is beneficial to cut down on weathering, especially for those of you who color treat your hair. A lot of what ends up fading the hair color from color treatments is UV exposure. So putting some UV protectant on there can actually help your hair color last longer. And then certain hair types are more vulnerable to weathering from like UV exposure, like blonde hair in particular. And then as we age, the hair, the lipids in the hair, the levels of those decline. So it makes it more vulnerable to weathering. Now the UV filters in this, they're not going to protect your scalp. So for scalp protection, depending on the thickness of your hair, make sure that any exposed scalp you protect from the sun, because skin cancers in the scalp are actually pretty common. Now, you can do that with a hat, or you can put sunscreen on your scalp. They have lash serums here from Grande Lash MD. My concern with these is always that they can have prostaglandin analog-like compounds in them that they definitely can cause dry eyes. And there are cases of people getting hyperpigmentation around the eyes related to these non-prescription lash enhancing serums. And they also can cause eye redness. But one concerning rare side effect, which is more common in people who are actually using prostaglandin analogs to treat glaucoma, is atrophy of the fat around the eye and a sunken eye appearance. It's reversible. It's not really something that we see with using the prostaglandin analogs, namely Latisse, but it's theoretically possible. They use similar compounds in the brow enhancing serums too. The prostaglandin analog is isopropyl clopristinate. Had to point out, how cute is this 4-in-1 makeup brush from Physicians Formula? It all fits together. I gave this mascara another try fairly recently and I ended up really liking it. It was hyped up on TikTok, of course, a few years ago, but I ended up really liking it after a while. What's this new kombucha brand? Avatara? The Clean Sweep Glycolic Acid Toner. It has niacinamide. That's helpful for a variety of things. Redness, hyperpigmentation, acne-prone skin, anti-aging, dry skin. I mean, niacinamide is very versatile in its benefits. This also has lactic and glycolic acids. Those, depending on how this is formulated, can gently exfoliate and also improve hydration. Then this has Saccharomyces and black tea ferment. That's going to have antioxidants and humectants. Witch hazel, that's an astringent. Some people find it soothing, but other people find it irritating. $14. the Super Cleanser, a foamy gel balancing cleanser with ceramides. And of course, kombucha. So tea polyphenols are helpful for warding off oxidative stress and have been shown to be beneficial for acne-prone skin. Looks like a potentially decent cleanser. And then you have kombucha and blue tansy sleep mask. Usually sleep mask is just a moisturizer, which is, this kind of looks like it is a moisturizer. Shea butter, argan oil, niacinamide, caffeine, that's the anti-inflammatory, may help with fading hyperpigmentation. The Moon Dream. They also have, of course, an eye cream. If you're a skincare brand, you pretty much have to have an eye cream. This has tea tree oil extract in it, so be aware of that if you are allergic to fragrance. It can cross-react. Tetrahexyl decyl ascorbate may help with hyperpigmentation. It's an antioxidant. It's a stable form of vitamin C. But whether or not it gets into the skin and helps with collagen seems to be determined. But they have a sunscreen too. That's rare for a new skincare brand to start off with a sunscreen. Mineral, probably will leave a cast. Ceramide. I wonder how this, just a thought that entered between my ears. I wonder how this compares to the Cocoa Kind mineral sunscreen. There's something about this packaging that kind of reminds me of that. It has ceramides in it, which are good for the skin barrier. Black tea ferment may have those antioxidants. It'd be nice if that were tinted. Side note, they had this little kit from Bumble and Bumble that you can get to try the invisible oil with the shampoo and conditioner. $29. What's this? Repair styling cream and shampoo. Bond building. So many products nowadays that claim to reapproximate broken disulfide bonds through their technology. Honey bond building. I mean, obviously there's Olaplex that does that, but I feel like a lot of brands try and make it seem as though their products do that. Whoa, I haven't thought about First Aid Beauty in a long time. It looks like they have a 10% vitamin C brightening serum for $50. Wow. Licorice root certainly can help with discoloration. It's also anti-inflammatory. Same thing with the tea leaf extract. That may help as well. Squalane, I told you guys I really like, is a nice emollient. 3-O-ethyl ascorbic acid is not the most well-researched form of vitamin C. Vitamin C, you all know, is challenging, or ascorbic acid is challenging for companies to work with. It's not very stable. Colloidal oatmeal is hydrating. You know, First Aid Beauty had some really good products back in the day, but they sold the company, I think, to another conglomerate. And a lot of things changed, went downhill. And ever since I got that sunscreen that had those like crystal and chunks in it, I have not been such a fan. What is this from Kopari? I'm sure it's laden with fragrance and glitter. Sounds like a rip-roaring good time. Coconut oil. Yeah, fragrance. It's hard to read the ingredients. It's a chemical sunscreen. Glow gel. I wonder how this compares to, Coppertone has this tinted chemical sunscreen that's like very glowy and glittery. I actually like it. I wonder how this compares to that in terms of appearance. This looks like it would be kind of sticky. And they also have an SPF 45 one. Now the iron oxides in these may help protect against visible light, which that can be beneficial for warding off post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. $39. Check it out. What is this? Apto Skincare Turmeric Mask with azelaic acid. Turmeric is anti-inflammatory, but the penetration into the skin can be challenging Now, azelaic acid is helpful for breakouts. It's also helpful for hyperpigmentation and rosacea. Phytic acid. Now, phytic acid is anti-inflammatory and gently exfoliates the skin. Kaolin helps absorb excess oil from the surface of the skin. How do they want you to do this? Just as a mask that you leave on for 10 minutes? So you're doing short contact therapy with azelaic acid. Azelaic acid is typically pretty well tolerated as a leave-on product, as a side note. But speaking of masks that are helpful for acne and rosacea, as well as perioral dermatitis, check out my video on how to do a sulfur mask, because that is easy breezy. Then they have a pomegranate moisturizer with squalane. Remember when squalane was like the new kid on the block 4 or 5 years ago? Man, this line, they really seem to enjoy phytic acid. This is a turmeric oil with rosemary. I have a video on rosemary oil for hair. Rosemary oil has caffeic acid in it, an antioxidant, which is also present in caffeine. That is anti-inflammatory, but turmeric root oil may have anti-inflammatory compound. Now, some people find coconut oil breaks them out, but otherwise, this seems interesting. Well, Ulta did not disappoint. They had quite a few things in there. Get excited though, because I'm going to share with you guys a haul of all hauls. I mean, move over, TikTok makeup gurus. There is a new influencer in town, and I've got stuff in here that nobody else is going to be showing you. I mean, are you waiting on the edge of your seat? Ladies and germs, dental floss. Well, blown out here, I think I am. But, yeah, I got this, and, because y'all know how much I love my oral hygiene, I got these I had to try, because I love these little, as I flip that one around, I love these little in-between toothbrush flossy doodles. That's the high-tech name for them. The interdental cleaners, I love them. They're expensive, but I saw Up and Up brand had their version, so I thought I would give these a try, and I went ahead and got 2 bags. So yeah, that's everything I bought. But don't get it twisted, you know, people neglect their gingiva, and it's a slippery slope. You're really good like the week before you go to the dentist, right, with flossing. Then you just let it go by the wayside for the next 6 months. I'm telling you, the gums, they are like tightly linked with a lot of health issues. So yeah, take care of your gums, floss and brush. But I'm gonna give Smartly a whirl here. See how smart it is. As a side note, the Smartly brand, they have a fragrance-free shave foam that is luxe. It's a luxe experience to use. Like, do you ever have this sudden urge in your mind when you open up a tub of Cool Whip to just stick your face in it? Is that just something that I contemplate? There's something about Cool Whip that just begs to have your face implanted in the tub. I don't know what it is. It's like a marshmallow cloud. It sounds like it would be fun, but yeah, the Smartly shave foam is kind of akin to that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this Ulta shop with me. Now on the end slate, I'm going to hook up my video that went up earlier this week on drugstore dupes that are out. You need to watch that because prices, they are rising. And we discover some affordable finds in the drugstore that you need to be aware of, okay? Your skin barrier will thank you. So watch that one next. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.